What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? So I've wanted to make this video for a while now. Didn't really know how to go about, you know, really going into detail about it. I mean, obviously I know exactly what I wanted to say, and it's not really a popular topic. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it and say it in the way that I feel led to say it. So, if it's your first time, please subscribe. I make a lot of different types of content. I'm pretty sure there'd be something for different kinds of people on this platform. I am trying to grow it, so subscribe. If you like the comment, if you like the content, sorry, leave a comment. Obviously, like or dislike. It's not really an issue, but as long as I have people to interact with and get feedback from, that'll be a great thing. So, if you just type in Seeing Demons on YouTube, you will be surprised about the kind of feedback that you get. I mean, if you just type it in Google, there have been so many people who have had these kinds of, how should I say, interactions. Now, granted, not all of them are the same. Some of them are drug induced. Some of them are from near-death experiences or actual death experiences where somebody was technically or actually clinically dead for a short period of time and they had these kinds of encounters. So mine that I'm going to talk about is actually the first one, drug induced. So for a while now, I've been in the truth. And when you hear somebody like myself say that they've been in the truth, what we're really talking about is having the knowledge and understanding that what science talks about and the theories that they talk about concerning the creation of the earth and everything therein, we don't buy into that, right? People might, like myself, we think that the creator is the most high, right? We don't believe in that everything happened by accident or by happenstance. That's, to me, that's far-fetched. But that's just, a broad understanding of when you say somebody's in the truth, they're a believer in the most high creator of, everything that is, and of course, his son. So I'll just preface that by saying that. Now, although I've been in the truth for a while, let me say this, for a few years, and I stopped the use of marijuana since 2007. We're now in 2021, so you're talking about 14 years. I did it for work, basically, to leave the work I was doing behind and go into a field where I knew that I would have to be sober and, possible drug testing, things like that. So that was the main reason that I quit. There was a portion of time that I had been in a car accident. I was out of work for about 18 months. There's another time I was out for almost a year. Time I was out for almost a year, and the previous time when I had the car accident, I did, you know, backslide a little bit, not heavy, but I think the instances were like my birthday and something else, where I was out smoked. On one of those particular instances, I had a really bad experience. I'm talking about bad to the point where I thought that I was going to die. Um, After smoking just, I don't know, maybe 6, 9 pulls, maybe, rotation. So 3 hits, pass it to somebody else, they take 3, next, then I come back, take another 3. And by this last 3, it was like, being plunged into a place of darkness and being confronted by these entities, right? So I'm on the ground I don't know where we are. It's like dark, and they're explaining things to me, and they're showing me things that, of course, I already know. Why? Because I'm in the truth. I understand that the material world is only part of it, right? There's a material world, and of course, there's a world beyond the material world, one that you cannot see with your naked eye. So they're going into like what would happen to me if I died and my children had to stay behind, the different kind of influences they had already in their life, like really simple things that they were showing and how much worse they could get. And like my kids would go astray and be influenced by simple things that would tailor their lives. And I don't want to be too specific about what the things they were talking about were, because I mean it's everyday things, right? It's things from Disney programming for girls, because I have one daughter. Um, music and the type of drill music that influences boys, right? I have three sons. Two of them are much younger. One of them is older. Um, how going down the path of drug use after already knowing the truth is like me dishonoring myself, and I don't deserve to live. It was a lot of stuff. But then there's like, okay, well, if you're gonna do it, we might as well just kill you now and be done with you because you're not needed. And I'm there pleading. I'm like, no, I am needed, because y'all just showed me if I'm not around, the kids are gonna go down this road. And no, I do want to be around. And it was to a point where at that time I actually felt like I was dying, right? It felt like the classical first effects of like a heart attack, right? That's kind of what it felt like. Like it- that, and I guess suffocation at the same time. Like you have pain, sensations, and tingling in your left arm, and then there's a sensation that you can't breathe. I mean, it was like a mix of different things, like a panic attack mixed with a heart attack, because I know some of these symptoms are the same, but I'm not a person that suffers panic attacks, so there's that. Um, but it was just really crazy the way that it happened. And it was four of them. They were huge. I mean, huge, and they were there. Like I was in the room present with, you know, my family, but they were there too. And they would just like condemn me and like, yeah, this is going to happen to you. And this is going to happen to you. And I'm like, man, this is bad. Shouldn't have done this. You know what I mean? This was like one of these situations where you're like, all right, yeah, maybe I did do that and I shouldn't have. Because let me explain something to you. When you're already in the truth, there is nothing um, that you can gain from using a drug that opens your third eye. Let's just put it that way to compound it. So you know how stuff like LSD and um, ayahuasca and even marijuana, to a certain extent, they're supposed to open that gate, right? Excuse me. When you're already awake, already when you already come to the knowledge of the truth, you don't need those things. You don't, because you're already at a point of enlightenment where those things, they cannot do anything for you but open you up to evil entities. Now you see, if you're not in the truth, obviously you can continue using those things with no ill effects. Why? Because your eyes are closed. You might get a little bit of understanding. You might have some astral plane experiences, um, which I did have before, like out of body experiences, but actually get into a point where like your understanding is so elevated that you're able to go on this plane and speak with other entities. I mean, so many people have talked about it, right? People of notoriety have talked about it already. All right. Like I said, just look it up on YouTube. I won't name any names. Although I did hear Bootsy had a similar experience. But he was, I think, being chased by demons because he was tripping on some type of acid or something. All right. So it has happened to other people now. I, I know nothing about Boosie's salvation, nothing at all. I don't know if that got saved. I don't know where he's going when he dies. None of that. Right. So it happens, right? But as I said, if you're a person that has already come to knowledge and understand, it's just like, let me put it this way, like people that talk about the Bible, right? You have all these different religions. Some say, the Bible is not legitimate. It has errors, it has this, it has that. Whatever the case may be, there's a saying I like that really puts it into perspective. Real eyes realize real lies. Now, it's very simple, but it is profound in its simplicity, right? Because you have these eyes, right, in this world, and you accept what you see around you, like over there in the background. That's my leather jacket. There's a bookshelf. I have a couple pieces of art on the wall, right? I have speakers over here. You can see my plant over there, my fridge. There's a light back there, right? Wearing this sweater, all these are physical things. I have this chain on. Physical things. When these eyes truly become opened, you will realize that there's more, right? When you get out of churchianity and academia, right, you will realize that there's more than just this, right? But a lot of times you have to experience it for yourself for you to truly accept it. Now, me, when I was a kid, I went to church with my mom, right? Myself and my little sister. She's about, what, like 6, 7 years younger than me, right? Mom took us to church all the time. So I grew up in the Catholic Church. As I got older, went to First Communion, confirmation, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I've been through that whole system, know it pretty well. Obviously, Catholicism has its issues, as most other religions do. And that's the thing, because they have a framework that, although they claim that this is the book, they do a lot of things outside of this book. Like if you look at Catholicism, um, this whole celebration of Christmas, there's nothing that gives that a rubber stamp in the Bible. Easter, no rubber stamp from the Bible either, right? The holy days that are supposed to be celebrated according to biblical text are not what people celebrate at all. It's, but I digress. That's but that's part of the reason that a lot of people's eyes have not been opened, right? It's pretty much the same way where the Freemasons say, like at the 33rd degree, you will receive the light, right? You receive illumination. So that's kind of what happened to me. Like after going through the scripts, going through religion, looking at the things that they do, that, okay, yeah, it doesn't line up with the book. It doesn't line up with this. It doesn't line up with teachings. Like even simple things like just um, dietary law. Like how many people actually observe dietary law? Like they stay away from the bottom feeders of the ocean, right? How many people? Most people, they eat shrimp, crab, lobster, whatever, right? Suppose they treat it like delicacies, mussels, all these things. I used to eat it too. Squid, all that. I love seafood. Anything from the sea, love it. Whether it's squid, crab, um, fish, lobster, whatever. Mussels, I used to love mussels. You know what I mean? So I've been there, I've been down that road where it's like, oh, it's just, food, whatever. And you go into the dietary law and it says what you're supposed to eat, right? So after a while, you get off these things, you get clarity, you go further, you start taking things seriously, observe the Sabbath. Um, I know people work, so it's not always possible, but you get to a point where doing that becomes somewhat mainstream to you, right? And it's when you get to that point, when you get to that where like these things become routine, right? You kind of gain more understanding. You know what I mean? I think I was already at that point and already past it. There's certain things that, I had a great understanding of. And then I went and did this, and it's like, all right, so this is why this is happening to you. You have no business getting high when you have already, understood these great truths. It's like you have nothing to gain from it. And I mean, people can do what they want. People can get high. It's all about your choice, right? But when you have come to that knowledge, then you're held to a higher standard, right? By the creator, because you know him, you know what he did, you know that you're here with a purpose, right? Because if you have to believe in evolution, then you're just like, okay, well, you're here as an accident. And then people go into these different discussions about, okay, well, then babies die and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if everybody's supposed to be here, then why do babies die? Or is okay, so why are women allowed to have abortions? Right? It's one of these. I hear this guy say this all the time, and it's so true. Um, the finite cannot circumscribe the infinite, right? So you're finite. You cannot circumscribe the infinite, which would be the creator. Can't understand something that is outside of your understanding. And obviously, if you just think about it, how would you ever understand the creator? No, can't. But you can get a pretty good idea, right? Of you being here in this place, in this time, in this space, being alive. What's your purpose? You know what I mean? And do your best in every aspect of it. That's pretty much what it is. And I mean, after that experience, I had to really look back and be like, man, I'm not meant to be here getting high and stuff like, you know, gotta be looking out for my children, taking care of their needs and trying to elevate, you know, not in any Freemasonic kind of way, but, that's what it is. I mean, basically, like, you're not supposed to stay the same all the time. You're supposed to level up, right? Even in your job, you want promotions and different things like that. So, same thing in life. You're not going to always be doing the same thing. I understand that people work in the same place for a long time, don't move up, they work to get their pension. But these people have lost their dreams, have lost their aspirations. That's a different story. But yeah, whatever level you're at, once you attain a certain level of clarity, these drugs will do nothing for you but open gates to places that you do not want to go to. And I don't wish that on anybody. So that was just a brief, well, kind of brief 20 minutes, I guess. A brief synopsis, I guess, of what transpired. Yeah, but it was terrifying. was terrifying. And yeah, since then I never didn't go back. Didn't go back. Didn't touch the stuff. And I know it's difficult, especially if you um are in a place where you know you're going through depression, you're going through different even a bad breakup. Um, there's different reasons for you to you know fall back on things, old habits or whatever the case is. You know, some people is drinking. I get it. I get it. But the best thing you can do for yourself is try to keep clean. You know, if you know the scripts, you know, read the scripts, pass your time. If you want to listen to it on your phone, your laptop, tablet, whatever the case is, you know, things to get you by, some soothing music. I like classical music myself. Um, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Bach, whatever it takes for you not to slip into those things when you know times are hard. You know, it says, lean not unto your own understanding. And sometimes, you know, we don't understand why things are hard, but I made a previous video. Sometimes it's a decision you made somewhere along the line that has brought you to where you are right now, and you're going through this bad time because of it. It happens that way. You know, people always say hindsight is 2020. It's true. You know, you look back, you'll see where you went wrong. You're like, oh yeah, that's what I did. Right. So you need to have a lot of foresight, especially in any serious decisions that you're making. You know, make them with the greatest care. Take time to think about them. They do have they do have that effect. You know, like a stone or boulder rolling down the hill. It's gonna come and stop somewhere eventually. Are you gonna stop on somebody's house, somebody's car? You never know. All right. So that's it for the stream. I appreciate you for joining me. Please like, comment, please subscribe if you like the content. You know, leave me a comment. Let me see what you think. All right. Till next time.